So, have you been following the global political scene this year? It's been quite a year for elections.
Yes, it's been fascinating. It seems like incumbents are getting the boot everywhere. What's going on?
That's the big question. Some new governments are facing a lot of challenges. They're inheriting complex problems, and they're under pressure to deliver quick results. It's a tough job.
It's definitely a balancing act. They need to address the issues that led to the change, but they also need to be realistic about what they can achieve.
And then there's the issue of voter expectations. People are quick to judge, and they're not afraid to throw out governments that don't meet their demands. It's a tough environment for politicians.
It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it's good that voters are holding governments accountable. But on the other hand, it can make it difficult for governments to implement long-term solutions.
It's a complex situation, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out in the coming years. But one thing is clear: the world is changing, and voters are demanding change.
I agree. It's a new era of politics, and it's going to be fascinating to see how it unfolds.
It's definitely a trend. From the US to Europe to Asia, voters are turning away from established parties. It's almost like a global anti-incumbent wave.
That's a really interesting observation. What do you think is driving this?
Well, there are a lot of factors at play. The COVID-19 pandemic has certainly had a major impact. People are struggling with economic recovery, high inflation, and a sense of uncertainty. It's created a lot of frustration and discontent.
That makes sense. People are feeling the pinch, and they're looking for change, but it's not just about the economy, is it?
No, it's not. There's also a growing sense of disillusionment with political elites. People feel like they're out of touch and don't represent their interests. This is fueling the rise of populist movements, which are tapping into this frustration.
That's a really important point. Populism is definitely on the rise, and it's not just a Western phenomenon. We're seeing it in Asia, Africa, and Latin America too.
Exactly. And it's not just about left or right. We're seeing both conservative and liberal parties losing ground. It seems like voters are just tired of the status quo.
It's almost like a global rejection of the old guard, but what about the new governments? Are they able to deliver on their promises?